What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Positively Star Wars, and we are asking the question today, was Count Dooku right? We are rewatching Tales of the Jedi, and we are asking ourselves, was he right to leave the Jedi Order? At this point, we know about 20 or so Jedi that have left the Order because of differing views. But why did Count Dooku leave? Born in 102 BBY, he was born to a rich family on Serrano, to a count and his wife, with one brother and one sister. It was realized he was force sensitive as a child, which scared his father, and he was sent to Coruscant to train with the Jedi. He met a youngling named Sifo Dyas, and they became best friends as young Padawans. After they both became Jedi Knights, many things and missions occurred that had disillusioned them from the Jedi Order and the Galactic Republic. Sifo Dyas always had force visions, and in one of those visions, a solar storm killed thousands on the planet. Warning the planet's senator, he was more concerned with the resources than the loss of life, which upset the pair. The Jedi Council informed them not to act because the future is always in motion and the visions are often unpredictable. They acted anyway with the help of Sifo Dyas' master, Leen Kastana, and witnessed the storm kill thousands as they barely escaped themselves. So at this point, neither Dyas nor Dooku were happy with the Jedi Order. In 68 BBY, Dooku takes a 12-year-old Qui-Gon Jinn as his second Padawan after a Jedi Knight named Averos. Almost a decade or so later, they go on a mission to save Senator Dagonet's kidnapped son. Arriving on the planet that's obviously fallen on hard times, they find residents who eventually admit to having the Senator's son. They are keeping him hostage to get attention on how the planet is being run into the ground by the current leadership. The son actually also sympathizes with them. How could my father let this happen? And what choices did they have? The senator actually shows up unannounced and escalates the situation. A blaster fight ensues. The Jedi do what they can to protect the innocent. Dooku, who is actually now on the side of the citizens, uses a force choke to the senator to get his point across. Qui-Gon Jinn, thinking quickly, goes to release his son and tells him to go save his father. His son stops Dooku from killing his father, but then questions how he can let this happen to the people he is meant to serve. We are left to feel that, although excessive, Dooku's actions may have done some good. He praises Qui-Gon for his quick action in saving lives. On another mission later in life, sometime before 42 BBY, he and Mace Windu lead a mission to Raxus Segundus to investigate the murder of Jedi Master Katri. Their actual mission was to bring back Master Katri's body to have a proper burial on Coruscant. Windu was concerned that Dooku was trying to overreach his mandate by inquiring about her death, and Dooku was frustrated with Windu's blind allegiance to the rules. As they meet with the senator, his story seems a little shaky, and they ask to see the scene to investigate. Dooku notices blaster marks in an ambush scenario and questions the senator about his suspicions. He sells out the security team, and then they open fire on Dooku and Windu. Most of the security force is killed, leaving two, a father and a son. "You and all the Senate puppets will see a reckoning," the son yelled as he grabbed for a blaster before leaving his dad as a sole survivor. The senators from planets are starting to sell out their own planet's resources for profit, and those uprisers also believe that the Jedi are just lapdogs for the Republic, so they don't trust them individually or as a whole either. That's why they weren't willing to bring any information to a single Jedi in their service when the senators are involved in something shady. They'd rather take matters into their own hands. Now, what's not on screen at this time is that Dooku has already met Palpatine, who is a senator from Naboo at this point, who was an apprentice to Plagueis. So at a time of peak disappointment of the Jedi Order, after he did not receive the open council seat left by Master Katri after solving her murder, he begins to work with Palpatine to put in motion events that lead to the Clone War. What is also not on screen, sometime between these episodes, is the commissioning of the Clone Army, using Sifo Dyas as the face of the inquiry to Kamino to protect the identity of Dooku, Palpatine, and possibly Plagueis. Dooku also recruited Jango Fett, a Mandalorian bounty hunter, to be the prototype for the new army. But what is on screen, in Tales of the Jedi Episode 4, which at points coincides with the first movie, Phantom Menace, Count Dooku said, "I've been warning them about the coming darkness for years now. in reference to the first Sith sighting in Phantom Menace. So how long had he been telling them? He's already been working with the Sith now, so he must have had tried before then. At this point, after the Acolyte, we know Yoda was aware of at least one dark side user in 132 BBY. So how long had Dooku been trying to convince the Council and they've been ignoring his claims? So while Dooku is still a Jedi, but on his way out, we see him delete Kamino from the Jedi archives, which from the look on his face, looks like the point of no return. His disdain for the Council is evident as he speaks with Yaddle and Qui-Gon in the Jedi Temple after his fight with Maul. He knows the Sith have returned at this point. He knows Darth Maul is Sidious's apprentice. But at this time, Palpatine is still only a senator and in the process of getting Queen Amidala to declare a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum. But when Qui-Gon dies at the end of Phantom Menace, he decides to officially leave the Order for good, from what we see on screen. Going to Sidious to express his anger for his former apprentice's death, he name-drops Sifo Dyas, who he had created the Clone Army, then he had killed to cover it up. He referenced Kamino, confirming he's the one to delete the records using Sifo Dyas' clearance code. But Yaddle overhears and tries to offer Dooku a way back to the light side. At this point, he feels he's already gone too far and is willing to fight and kill Yaddle to prove to Darth Sidious that he did not betray him. Of course, he's wrong for killing Yaddle, but his initial hesitation in following the Jedi blindly wasn't wrong. His eventual mistake is trusting the Sith with the same level of trust he was unwilling to give the Jedi, which got him killed once a young new apprentice was in the picture. Like I said, this is mainly what we see on screen, which is most canon with a little backstory from the newest books and comics. But what do you think about Count Dooku? Was his hesitation to follow the Jedi warranted? If so, did he eventually lose sight of what he was really after? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'm going to go back and talk about the Ahsoka of it all after we do a Phantom Menace rewatch and ask ourselves a different question than we had the last time we watched it. I think that's what this series will be. Looking at all the projects from a slightly different point of view than we did when the movie came out. And I think talking about Ahsoka after Phantom Menace makes sense in that aspect. Plus it matches our watch order. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching Positively Star Wars, and this is the way until I find another phrase I like better.